Hello friends, welcome back in the Golden Tee Lounge. Kevin Lindsay here. It is Saturday. Hopefully you are doing absolutely nothing, enjoying your weekend away from work and just kicking back, relax, maybe watching some football or whatever the case may be. But we've got to take a look at next week's commercial and home events. It is the Triple Threat Par 4, our best and most favorite drivable par 4s from 2005, 2007, and 2008 years of Golden Tee Live. And we're kicking things off with Cypress Cove, number 5. Thankfully, this, for at least for this video's purpose, the setup here on Cypress is the non-tree version, because this hole is a little difficult if you get the tee box that's way up top and you got to shoot underneath the tree. So good luck with that one. And I will appreciate the hate mail that I'll probably get for that. But this is kind of a mix. There's no rhyme or reason in terms of order. We're going to be bouncing around from all 3 years. This one here, Indigo Mound, number 15. This one I just love because there's so many different tee boxes. This is a perfect example of great Jim Z course design. Just 3 different areas on this drivable par 4 where you can get set up for the pin. We've seen plenty of shots of the week over the years off the walls. I'm sure we'll see a few again next week as well. Number 3, Glacier Ranch. Number 5, Glacier Ranch 2008 course. This one can set up a little long. It is always going to be drivable, but you may have to use the fairway or the end of the fairway to kind of ramp onto the green. So you may see a couple of unique and interesting, tee shots there when you're out playing. Number 4, we go back to the OGs, the 2005 courses, Whispering Valley, number 5. This one, as I stress all the time, and I don't always follow it, just get on the green, make the putt. If you try getting cute, depending on the setup, and you get too close to that sandbox, it's not a hard chip. It's a very makeable chip, but not something that you necessarily want to flirt with on hole 4 of events. Sticking with the 2005s, we then move on to Cumberland, number 18. This is just such a fun hole. 3 little thin tee box areas. One setup, you could maybe be hitting a 5 hybrid or an extremely soft 6 wood. It really just depends on the setup here, but that is always a fun one to get thrown into the mix. Number 6 here, Heather Point, number 9. Again, another long strip of tee box. So you might get some shorter looks, a fewer, like this one where you have to use the driver and throw it out there a little bit, but nothing too crazy for most cases here. Hole number 7, this is Coral Vista, number 5. This is a little bit of a longer distance than you typically see on this course. Oh. So you got to worry about getting under and around those trees, but with the golden tees, not really difficult. Just a little more strategic than just getting up there and punching it. Moose Landing, number 2. This one is a little bit more trickier. Lots of high trees you got to get over, so I highly recommend just throwing a high tee. If you try to get cute with the 5 or the 3 wood, believe me, I've done it. You have a good chance of clipping some of the trees as you get closer down towards the end of the fairway and onto the green. So just use that gold tee, pop it up there, and you should be good for most of the setups there. And then number 9, Rustic Bridge, number 2. Very similar to the not Moose Landing, but the Glacier Ranch hole. One of those that can set up pretty long, but always going to be drivable. Just may cause you to have a little bit of a long putt. And just like that, 18 under after 9 holes. So par is going to be 36. These are all drivable par 4s. Even though we love the drivable par 5 from Glacier. We did not include that one just because we've used it a lot lately. Hole number 10, kicking off the back 9, is Misty Springs, number 5. That one is about as straightforward as you can get. Not a lot of tree that comes into play, although occasionally it will. And then number 11, Coral Vista 15. This is where things start to get a little bit trickier. Not too crazy. You just gotta be smart with the clubs and the shots that you play. Really wish I didn't put bite on that, but let's be honest. It didn't have the right line. That probably would have ended up wet. That's alright. So moving on to number 12, Heather Point, number 4. Again, this is another one of those really fun drivable par 4s from the earlier years of Golden Tee Live. And early on the course, too. I wanted to mix it up so you see a lot of, not a lot, but a handful of the, hole 10s and beyond being put in the front so you could get a little bit softer of a wind. This is a good example of an early hole we put on the back 9 so you get a little bit heavier wind action. And then number 13, Rustic Bridge, number 5. This is a fun one because there's a couple of different tee boxes. This at 196 is about as short as you will ever get. This one also can set up about 240, 250 and cause you to have to put in a little bit more work. I did not get as much that 8-wood cut as I was hoping. But the nice thing about Rustic number 5 there is there's plenty of green to work with. So even if you have a long putt, you're still got a good eagle opportunity. Number 14, this is a favorite of mine, Palm Springs, number 7. Although this is an interesting setup, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this with bite. Because I've got those super spin clubs, I know that I've got to be careful. Or I could just be aggressive and hit the green. It's been a long time since I've seen a good hole-in-one on this hole that involved the house. So hopefully we get a couple of bounces off of that when people are playing events mode next week. All right, number 15, this is Kangaroo Trail, number 8. This one, you can use the 8-wood, or you can high tee, or even just go straight at it with the 6-iron. For the safety of my score actually being somewhat decent, I'm just going to go ahead and just softly throw that 8-wood. Probably not intentionally using the wall there, but hey, if it gets me closer to the pin, I'm okay with it. And then number 16, this is a fun one, Summit Lakes, number 14. This can sometimes set up a little bit tricky. But with that 14-mile-an-hour wind in our face, we're just going to punch that 10.5-degree driver and hopefully, okay, now thank goodness that the ice is frozen, but talk about a bad bounce. Oof. Okay, did not feel confident at all about that chip. I was thinking maybe 40% chance that I didn't screw that up. I almost re-pulled it. But hey, I will take the couple of shot points. 29 yards off the ice. Fine by me. All right. 2 more holes. Eagle Crest, number 8, is hole 17 here. Now, of course, this is a bit more difficult of a setup. It's not crazy tough. You just have to get around the trees. And honestly, the other thing is you've got a big green to work with. Now, that sand trap is not deep. It doesn't look deep, but sometimes when you're hitting a low driver or a driver at all, it does play off a little deep. So I'm going to just go ahead and actually soft a 9.5-degree driver. I want to, if anything, I want to do exactly this. I want to hit the sand and kick up. It is going to retain the spin, so just be careful and be aware of that. I really thought I was going to blow a perfect game on that putt. Bayou Bay, we had to include it. Number 5. Now this setup, this is not a bad setup, but this is probably as difficult as it will get on Bayou. Although some of the setups on the left-hand side do get tricky. So, I mean, 36 under, it's a pretty scoreable course, pretty easy. I had to include a couple of challenges on there for you guys. Hopefully we can end with not a water ball. Whew, that was awful. But I will take a pretty decent score there. 36 under is the par. Our triple threat par 4 contest, 2005, 2007, and 2008. 18 on the front, 18 under on the back for 36 under total. Good luck. This is not a World Championship qualifying. World Championship qualifying through events mode is complete. So this is just all for the cash and credit prizes. But starting in 2 days, Monday, January 10th, you can play this event on your home edition or commercial 2021 game near you. GoldenTee.com/locations. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.